Hey everyone, Calebyte here with Random Respawn. Just wanted to bring you a short video on Hollow Knight, a 2D action platformer in the MetroidVania style with more enemies than Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It's available for $15 on Steam for PC with Mac and Linux in beta, and there will eventually be a Nintendo Switch release as well. This is a collection of general tips and information that I've found during my time with the game and through various sources that I'll link in the description. I wanted to create something to help the growing community, so these are mostly helpful for beginners, but if you've played the game already, maybe you'll learn something too. Anyway, let's get started. Explore. It sounds obvious, but if you don't know what this game is, this is an exploration game. Get used to exploring, make mental notes or take physical notes of places that you can't get to, and be ready to return when you have the appropriate ability. There's a decent bit of backtracking. Check every single surface for secrets. There's walls you can attack, ceilings, shaky floors, look for hidden passages you can walk through. Take full advantage of this wonderful world that they've crafted. Enemies respawn. This is a staple in video games as well, but this time around, basic enemies respawn when you leave the screen, but all others, except for bosses, respawn when you rest at a bench. So keep this in mind if you're looking for a place to farm. Dying spawns a shade. All of your currency, or geo, is left on this shade. Additionally, your soul vessel, which is your mana container, will be damaged and it'll only allow you to build up about 75% of your maximum. You can reclaim your lost geo and repair your soul vessel by returning to your shade and killing it. If you die along the way, however, you will lose your geo. Also note, if you quit out of the game while you have a shade active in the world, when you load back in, your shade and geo will be gone. Talk to vendors. Some vendors you need to walk behind the counter or just get closer to them, but you will be able to see the prompt change who listen, and that'll let you experience more of the game's interesting story and lore. Buy everything. Don't stress about it, but don't let the geo go to waste. Check things out, buy the different charms, try different combinations, find the things that you like. Every item in this game at least has some purpose. Double tap the map button for a shortcut. If you double tap the map button while you're not resting at a bench, this will pull up all sections of the map that you've obtained so far. And if you're using the Wayward Compass charm and in an area that you don't have the map for, your pin will still show up. It isn't extremely useful, but there it is. You can POGO off of spikes. If you perform a downward slash on spikes, you'll bounce off of them, and you can use the same technique to bounce off or over enemies as well. The Cyclone skill is better than you think. Normally when you use this, it swings twice, but if you continue tapping the attack button after releasing, you'll attack a few more times. You can also float a little bit by doing this in the air. Overcharm. You can equip more charms than you have space for. You must have at least one slot remaining, but if you keep attempting to equip a charm that uses more room than you have until it locks in, you'll then become overcharged. Warning though, this will cause you to take double damage, so use at your own risk. Rancid eggs. To use your rancid eggs, to the far right of the starting town, there's a building that can be unlocked with a simple key. In here is an NPC that will return your shade to you for one rancid egg. So if you've died and your shade is a long ways away or in a really tough to get to spot, you can use a rancid egg and reclaim it. Sellable items. In the City of Tears, there's a vendor who will buy 4 of the items in your inventory. These are shown on the bottom section of the screen, and they include the Wanderer's Journal, the King's Idol, etc. Don't worry about holding onto them for something else. Their purpose is to be sold, to give you some geo and some lore. Repairing broken charms. In the Fungal Waste, there's a vendor who sells fragile charms that will break if you have them equipped and die. These are the only charms that break, but they can be repaired for a small price by returning to the vendor. The Defender's Crest. Talking to the vendor I just mentioned with this charm equipped will give you a small discount. It'll also open up some extra lines of dialogue with a couple other NPCs, and the charm has some interesting secret interactions with others. The Elder Grub. Be sure to return to the Elder Grub periodically after you've rescued some baby grubs. He has a number of rewards for you, so don't just wait until you've collected all of them to return. Oh, and don't worry, there is an item later in the game that you can get that will show you the locations of all of the grubs you're still missing, so you don't have to go crazy searching for the last few. The Flower Quest. This quest requires you to transport a flower to a specific location without getting hit. If you do take damage, the flower will wilt, but you can return to the vendor and start the quest over. Multiple endings. There are multiple endings to this game, and it is possible to complete them all in the same save file if you so desire, but it does require some setup. Missable achievements. While there are a lot of missable achievements in the game, I'm specifically talking about two different sets of 2 achievements that can't be earned in the same run: Purity and Happy Couple, and Neglect and Rivalry. These don't impact your 100% completion run, so unless you care about getting all of the achievements, you don't have to worry. And if you are seeking them all, good luck, because there are a few that are quite challenging. Anyway, that's my list of mildly interesting things in Hollow Knight. If you don't own it, I hope this intrigued you enough to try it out, and if you already do, I hope you learned at least one thing new. There are lots of really interesting secrets in this game, and the lore is great too, if that's your thing. For more in-depth information, check out the awesome guides from other players located on Steam, or head over to the growing Reddit community. Links for both are in the description. Take care, see you in the next one.